Action Sports 5 presents
Atlantic Coast Conference Basketball. From Cameron Indoor Stadium in Durham, it's the Tar Heels of North Carolina versus the Blue Devils of Duke. Tonight's telecast is brought to you by the Pilot Life Insurance Company and your local Pilot representative. Pilot, the company that helps you through life. And by Hardee's. Hardee's, best eaten in town, up and down and all around. By Pabst Blue Ribbon. Pabst is brewed to be the best naturally, with no artificial ingredients, and you can taste it. By Toyota. You asked for it, you got it. Toyota. By Piedmont Airlines, now serving over 90 cities and 16 states. Piedmont, making new places part of our world and yours. And by NCNB, the people who know that to be the best bank in the state, you have to be the best in the neighborhood. It's a packed house here tonight. As a matter of fact, they were standing in the rain for hours to get in for this one. I'm Jim Thacker with Bones McKinney. We come down to this final game of 1979 regular season. This was going to be for the Bye Bones, the first time perhaps ever they've tied for that.
And nothing could be so important, Jim, because people can say what they want to about wanting to play all 3 days because they want to be ready for the second game. Malarkey. I want that bye.
Well, a Duke-Carolina game always generates tremendous excitement. This one's no exceptions. One a special one, matter of fact, because first place is on the line. North Carolina has a one-game lead. Duke, by winning here tonight, can force a tie. The Tar Heels can win the bye outright with a victory. So that's what we have going the line going into this one. We've had a full day of activity in the ACC, and we'll be telling you about that a little bit later. But here tonight in Durham, it's a special evening, and right now, the president of Duke University, Mr. Terry Sanford, is coming out to midcourt, and he'll be signing a contract to build a $13 million plus new student union for Duke University. So that's the announcement that's being made here to this capacity crowd in Durham tonight. And you can hear the applause right now in the background as president of Duke University, Terry Sanford, prepares to sign this final contract for this new building. Well, Bones, earlier here today, we saw State in a blowout.
Well, I thought State looked very good. It was not just one of those days they were shooting well, but they passed the ball well and played great defense. I just thought they were a great basketball team this afternoon. And, you know, they've only been out of a couple of ball games this year completely.
And, of course, broke a tie in the other game. Now, there's President Terry Sanford right here. And he's going to officially sign this contract for the building of a new $13 million student union. And we'll be hearing more about that. You'll be reading about it, I'm sure, tomorrow morning's paper. The other game today, won by Virginia, and a close one. What a finish that was against Maryland.
I just thought it was the one that got the last basket. Jim, they matched baskets all the way down the line. It was absolutely a great basketball game, and Maryland looked as good as Virginia. They just wound up a little bit short.
All right, Jeff Lamp scored the winning basket in that one, and we'll have our scouting report of tonight's game in just a moment after this message.
Doesn't anybody make a sporty car that looks like $1 million?
But doesn't cost like $1 million.
Toyota, what have you got?
The Toyota Celica GT Sport Coupe. Your money's worth and more in a beautiful package.
You got
a roomy 4-passenger cockpit, 5 speeds, full instrumentation.
You got
the Toyota Celica GT Sport Coupe. A beautiful value.
Toyota, you got it.
You asked for it. You got it, Toyota.
There are lots of ways to get acid indigestion when you have a headache. Sometimes it's not what you eat, but when you eat it.
Sometimes it is what you eat.
Sometimes it's not what or when, but how much.
For all those times, take Alka-Seltzer. Listen. It's the sound of fast relief.
Oh, what a relief it is!
My folks have been married 25 years today. If it was 6 months from now, no problem. But as it was, I came up a little short and had to borrow a couple $100 from NCNB. You know, they really understood how I felt. I mean, my folks have been doing things for me all my life. It's kind of nice to be able to start paying them back.
Can you? Oh, bless you.
Packed house here tonight as the seniors are being introduced at Duke University. We've watched this ceremony throughout the conference this week as senior players play their final home games. Jim Spanarkel, I'm sure, is going to be getting a thunderous ovation. One of the greatest players in Duke University history as he's introduced next. Well, here they look at these two teams. First, we're going to take a look at the two coaches of this ball club. Both veterans, Bill Foster, Duke on the left, and Dean Smith on the right.
I think, Jim, that the thing we need to think about, both of these fellas have known adversity. Dean Smith took over a program from Frank McGuire, knew some difficult years. Now he's on top. Bill Foster has gone through the same situation. They know what it is to be down. They know what it is to be up.
Well, Foster's first three teams here had trouble getting winning seasons. Matter of fact, a little below that. And last year went all the way to the Final Four. Well, they're outstanding players on both sides here tonight. Certainly, the final game of the season is going to be an emotional one for Jim Spanarkel of Duke on the right. And he may be facing this man on the left before the evening's over.
Well, he's as fine a defensive basketball player Dudley Bradley is, coming in here for a layup. He's as fine as ever been in the conference. And, you know, 2 years ago, I wouldn't have given you 2 cents for his chances to be where he is today.
Well, he's made a name for himself. Spanarkel, of course, could become the all-time leading scorer in Duke history. He's number 2 right now behind Art Heyman and has a chance to finish his career setting records in 4 key statistical categories.
It just shows you, Jim, what you can do if you work hard, because Spanarkel was not that great as a freshman.
All right. Both teams like to run and press, change up defenses, change offenses. The officials for tonight's ball game. The referee is Hank Nichols on the center. On the left is Hal Grossman. On the right, Jerry Donaghy. 3 officials for this ball game. It's the final game of the season. It all comes down to this one for first place. The other spots are falling in line. Third place was taken by Virginia today. Second place team could be established here tonight. If Duke wins, it'll be a tie, and we'll have to draw out of the hat at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning to break that tie. Fourth place is taken by Maryland. Fifth place by Clemson, and it's a tie for 6th between North Carolina State and Wake Forest. That'll be taken or broken by a draw also tomorrow. The Holly Farm Scholarship Award, a $1,000 grant, is presented to the Office of the ACC Commissioner to the School of the Outstanding Player of the Game, as chosen by the game announcers, and he'll be picked, or they'll be picked, later tonight. That's our scouting report of tonight's game. We'll be back with the starting lineups and the opening tip-off after this message.
Put out your hand, take the hand that's gonna help you make the time of your life. Take the help we're holding here, give it to the ones that you hold dear. Go with Pilot. Pilot helps you through life.
Hungry, Ernie?
Like a bear.
You know what I'm thinking about? Hardee's Big Cheese. 2 pure beef burgers, charbroiled, with a whole lot of tangy melted cheese, all hot and juicy.
I must be dreaming. I can smell that big cheese.
Well, open your eyes, good buddy, and you can see it.
Bless your warm little heart.
Hardee's, best eating in town, up and down and all around.
After hour, the new WYYD FM Stereo 96 is just as bright and beautiful as a sparkling waterfall. WYYD FM Stereo 96. Just beautiful music, 24 hours a day.
It's a very crucial game for Duke University. I'll tell you why. They must win this game to get a tie for first place in the bye, but there's another very good reason, too. If some team other than one of these two teams wins the ACC tournament, well, we'll get back to that later. Let's now go down for the starting lineups.
Ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineups for tonight's game. First for Dean Smith's Tar Heels. At a guard, number 20, David Colescott. And for Duke at guard, number 34, Jim Spanarkel. At the other guard, number 22, Dudley Bradley. And for Duke, number 21, Bob Bender. At the center, number 34 for the Tar Heels, Pete Budko. For Duke, number 43, Mike Jominski. At the forwards for the Tar Heels, number 30, Al Wood. And for Duke, number 12, Vince Taylor. Number 31 for the Tar Heels, Mike O'Corin. And for Duke, number 33, Kenny Dennard.
All right, there's Dean Smith, coach of the University of North Carolina, and Bill Foster is the head coach of Duke University. Bones, we're going to assume now that Gene Banks is still suffering a little bit from his injury.
I would have to think so, Jim, because he'd be starting this ball game. There's no tomorrow here.
There's the lineup for North Carolina. And the lineup for Duke, you'll note, does not include Gene Banks, a high-scoring and high-rebounding forward.
I'm surprised that he's starting Pete Budko. You're noticing the Duke lineup here. You see at the top Vince Taylor starting in the place of Gene Banks. I would think Budko wouldn't start. I would think Jominski could get the jump ball, and the tempo of this ball game may be well decided in the first 2 or 3 minutes.
I guess been more on a trend that North Carolina's been in, starting Budko, and then immediately off the bench, they bring Yoniker in the lineup.
But if Duke gets that ball, you can believe they're going to Jominski as soon as they can, because Budko will be guarding him.
All right, here we go. Center court Budko, number 34 in the blue. Jominski, number 43 in the white for Duke. Duke needing a win here to get a tie for first place. We'll get into that explanation more in a moment. Our idea of why it's very crucial for Duke. Tip control by Duke. Here they come. Okay, Bones, we'll see if they look for Jominski. There they go. Jominski baseline. Dudley Bradley went out of bounds, but knock it away.
They knew it was going in there, and now they're going to be able to get Budko out.
And there goes Yoniker. Okay, first dead ball. Yoniker has come in. Budko is in just for the start. Lob it inside his Spanarkel. Zone defense here off the inbounds play doesn't mean that North Carolina's going to be playing zone most of the time.
They're going to look for some lob passes tonight, Jim, with some dumps going behind it, especially with Spanarkel and when Banks, when he does get in there.
Duke being very patient against the zone here, Bones, at the outset.
Well, they're going to get a good one.
There goes Jominski. Rebound by Vince Taylor inside. Good move by Taylor.
That's what quickness will do for you. He made a beautiful play. They were a little slow. North Carolina was a little slow in reacting.
North Carolina, I think they're going to hold it, Bones. They were going to go in the stall from the outset. Now, they can't really hold it out here.
No, they cannot hold the ball. They cannot hold it, but if they go beyond that hash mark, they're perfectly all right.
North Carolina going into its spread attack here at the outset. And I think that tips off what their game plan was.
I think it was. I think they wanted to get out in front to start with. Of course, they haven't. And I think eventually they're going to look for an easy shot. But they're going to try to throw Duke off a little bit, try to make them come out and play them a little bit. Duke's got to come further out if they're going to make any attempt at them at all. And North Carolina's not going to stay in this. They can't.
Duke in his zone. Legally, Duke can stay back in his zone all they want. They do not have to force the play. And what North Carolina is doing constitutes making play. They are penetrating the little hash mark.
Now you'll remember, Jim, if they're warned one time, they're not going to be warned as long as they're going beyond that hash mark, right where you see Dudley Bradley have that ball. And over here where you see Yoniker have the ball. If they go beyond that, they're all right. If they're warned one time, that's all the warning they'll ever get. It's a technical if they have another.
What right now they're doing, they're fulfilling the rule, Bones.
They are. They're fulfilling it. They're making
past the hash mark.
They are making no mistake. And if Duke tries to shut off the passes to either Yoniker or to Bradley, then they're going in the middle to O'Corin, and of course Al Wood's going to go that baseline, and they'll get an easy basket.
North Carolina's fame for its four-corner attack, as all ACC fans know. I remember a game one time, both went down like 21-20 was the final score, but it was very close at the halftime.
I remember one that was 12-10 for the tournament championship.
Yeah, but that wasn't these two teams. I'm talking about these two teams played a game like that. It was like 6-4 at the half. Remember that?
That happened in Riddle's Coliseum, yes.
Duke leads 2-0, remember? And North Carolina's been holding the ball ever since. Duke's coming out of the zone. They switched to a 1-3-1 zone. They've come out of the 2-3, and now they're trapping a little more, putting on a little more pressure.
Duke's going to have to face this, Jim, the rest of their days after Clemson was successful with them. That's where they want it, in the middle, and break them in along the baseline.
Of course, Duke can't afford to let the score remain 2-0 indefinitely. That's what it is, 2-0. North Carolina's held the ball now for almost 3 minutes.
One of the places you don't like to get that ball is down in the corner now, where Dudley Bradley is on one side and Al Wood on the other. Just over the hash mark is enough, and back out with it.
You get down the corner, you can use 2 boundary lines to help your defense.
That's right.
See the little hash mark over there? Well, you saw it a moment ago. Up along the sideline. There it is, little white mark. All they have to do is get the ball past that, and they're legally fulfilling their obligation. That is to force play. Now the count is on them once it comes back out.
The problem with this situation is if North Carolina makes the slightest mistake in walking with the ball, palming, standing in the lane too long, all of this is going for naught. I'm surprised to see them do it. I thought they'd wait till they got the lead.
Well, you know, North Carolina can play very loose. Even if they lose this game, they've still got a chance to draw for first place. They might want to see just how well they can play this as an under-the-fire experiment before the tournament begins.
What have they got to lose? They can find out a lot of things in this. They're going to find out what Duke's going to do.
You see Dean Smith way down your right corner screen. He's up giving instructions. Duke is coming out to trap a little bit out of the zone.
Duke's student body has taken this as being number one.
Well, here's something. This is kind of taking the game away from these Duke fans right now, too.
That's right.
They've been here for 2 hours or more, really raucous, stood in the rain for hours here to get in.
Well, they've
been quieted down by all this.
You're exactly right, Jim. They've been here since Tuesday, I understand.
Is that right? Since
They've
Tuesday?
been here since Tuesday. Taking turns. And I think the president, I heard this, so don't take this for a fact, but I heard the president, Terry Sanford, had them to let them in early. They were only supposed to get in 2 hours before game time, but rain like it was, cold like it was, hadn't gone through what they had gone through. He had them to let the student body in early.
Well, I got here at 6:30, and they were standing in the rain then. Now we've gone 5 minutes here with North Carolina holding the ball. They have not taken a shot. Duke leads 2-0.
Well, I'll tell you, the first 2 men going to take a shot. It's either going to be O'Corin or Al Wood one.
Right now, Vince Taylor's along the baseline, and he's the chaser down there against Wood.
You don't need to play along that sidelines as close to the sidelines as Yoniker is. You got a man as deceptive as Spanarkel. He's not a fast one, but he's quick.
This is going to bring up the talk again, Bones, about the 30-second clock, isn't it?
Well, this is exactly why the Sun Belt went to 45 seconds, because they ruined the tournament that way. I'm not saying this ruins this.
Can't get a no-action game that way. What we got right now, no-action game.
Duke has gone back now deep.
Yep, 2-3 zone. Bill Foster is going to play the game here with Dean Smith, at least for the moment, it appears.
If this keeps up, Jim, we won't be here long.
No. 2-0. That's a good earned run average.
That's right.
Now you got to look at Bill Foster. Got a lot riding on this game. As we said a moment ago, if some team other than one of these two wins the ACC tournament, only one of these will get a bid to the NCAA, and undoubtedly, the bid's going to be based on the season record. And right now, Duke is 2 games behind North Carolina in that respect. That's one of the most crucial reason, I think, that they need to win here, Bones. They need to get their record back even with North Carolina's, just in case some other team, and you and I know there are 5 others capable of winning the tournament.
That's right. Jim, I don't think there are 5 others that are capable of winning it, but I do think that there are a number of teams in this conference that could beat either one of these teams on a given night, and that would eliminate them regardless of whether that other team went on all the way. To win 3 games for some of the teams in the conference, let's say it'd be real tough.
Well, let me give you this, all right? You'll agree that there are teams here capable of beating either one of those, right?
Right.
All right, now let's say that all of a sudden they both get beat the same night. Now what have you got? You've got to feel that any team can win, right?
Yes, after that. If you're going to eliminate both of them. Now, you hem me in a corner just exactly like Duke wants to do North Carolina.
Put the 4 corners on you, Bones.
That's about 3.5.
2-0 is the score if you tuned in, folks. We got a shutout going. Duke University, Vince Taylor.
If you think it's just started, you're wrong. They have already played almost 9 minutes.
Vince Taylor's the player of the game as things now stand.
That's right. We'd have to pick him, wouldn't we?
We have now played 8 minutes approximately here. North Carolina without taking a shot. And Duke's going along with them. You know, the Duke team's getting a little edgy. The fans have been in here raising Cain for about 3 hours, 2.5 hours. It's the final home game. I don't think it's a bad strategic move by Dean Smith at all. First of all, he gets the fans calmed down. And secondly, he's trying to guarantee a close game.
I agree with you on both points.
It's only North Carolina knows if all of a sudden it's going to spring into action, so Duke can't really go to sleep.
Well, they may be rocked away if they're not careful. They will be. They're triangling in there, and any little move now, any little hesitation. I wouldn't have a big tall man out there handling the ball like that. Yannicka must be a heck of a ball handler.
Well, he can hold it like a grapefruit.
Well, that's true. It looks like it has a handle on it, doesn't it? Here's Al Wood now. He wants to touch it. I called timeout one time. I didn't touch it for 5 minutes, and I wanted to find out if it was a Spalding ball.
Now Duke switching out to a 1-3-1 again. Duke's got to be careful, too. They're switching zones, and they can get assignments mixed up. That's what North Carolina's looking for. They're looking for a big mistake here by the Duke defense all the while.
You know, it wouldn't be a bad idea to foul somebody for the simple reason that you might have a chance on an inbound play, and one foul isn't going to hurt you.
Not to mention the fact we could use a commercial, eh, Bones?
Well, we went to them, you know, before when they were playing this kind of ball game, and I gave the replay when they came back. Nothing had happened except that.
Whoa, that was close one.
They get down that corner, and you get piddling around with that thing.
Do you get jittery, Bones? Are these players getting a little jittery every time they catch the ball?
They're not half as jittery as the coach is, I can tell you. You know, I don't want it. You take it. Get it away from me. Now they're in a position. But Duke is playing. They just aren't going to give them a layup. That's all there is to it. If you'll notice when it does go in to O'Corin, they're in the middle. 3 men, or at least a minimum of 2, will collapse right in the middle, right under that basket. They just aren't going to give it to them. I can't believe what I'm seeing. I could have had they gone ahead 2-0. Of course, Duke would have come out and then played them.
Had to.
They're going for the last. I can't believe they go for the last shot.
They've now played 11 minutes. Score is 2-0 in favor of Duke. Vince Taylor scored on the opening flurry of the game. Oh, Al Wood kicked the ball out of bounds. Now they're saying it went off Vince Taylor's foot. Woo! That's the first little break of the action right there. Let's see if we can see it again.
All right. Watch the play. The ball's passed on that baseline to Al Wood, and you saw it hit a foot, and the official was right on top of it.
Now there's timeout on the court. The score, Duke 2, North Carolina 0.
Hello, America.
Piedmont Airlines is flying to new horizons for you. Now, Piedmont flies to Miami and Denver. Boston is a new Piedmont city. Pittsburgh is too. New York, Chicago, Washington are old friends, of course. Soon, Dallas and Tampa will be too. At Piedmont, it's been going on for more than 30 years, making new places part of our world and yours.
Say hello, hello, Piedmont Airlines.
My Charlie loves chicken, so I buy nothing but the best. Holly Farms. I know it's fresh, always tender, and it tastes so good.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Charlie.
Hi, dear.
Hi, Big Charlie.
Holly Farms chicken.
Oh, wow. We're nothing but the best we'll do.
Nothing but the best for you.
Holly Farms.
Nothing but the best for you.
Don't your Charlies deserve the best?
Carolina cities, Carolina towns, banks in every neighborhood, banks all around. So if we want to be your only bank, we better be a whole lot better than good. In CNB, we want to be the best bank in the neighborhood.
Now Gene Banks is in the lineup for the first time, a sparkling sophomore from Philadelphia, averaging just under 15 points a game. Banks is in for Duke, replacing Vince Taylor. Now here's something different, Bones. We got an in-bounds play, and North Carolina now has got to get it in against Duke. The Blue Devils know they're up against the stall, so they're going to be all out here trying to make an interception.
I'm sure they are, but they're still going to protect that inside, so that long pass is going to be easy. I remember in the other game that we were talking about when State beat Duke 12-10, a man and his wife went out for dinner. When they came back and turned the television set on, it was 7-5. She said, "Come on, honey, it's just started." And it was already in the second half.
Bones, the game you and I broadcast, 1966. Duke won 21-20. That game was played in Chapel Hill, and that was another slowdown game. It was about 6-4 at the half, as I recall.
Chapel Hill, I missed it by 35 miles. I flunked the course.
Close, yeah, in the right state. Duke leads 2-0, and North Carolina's put it in the deep freeze since then. And we've played now almost 12 minutes of the ball game. 8 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the first half. Duke's sticking in the zone defense. They're not giving North Carolina anything easy here, and the Tar Heels are not taking anything else up to now. Both these teams ranked in the nation's top 10. North Carolina number 4, Duke number 6.
If they've held it this long, I've got to believe they're going to continue to hold it.
Well, you got to sell your players completely, don't you, Bones, on this system before you ever go into it?
Absolutely. They have to be sold on what you're going to do, or they do not perform effectively. And, of course, Dean Smith has no problem selling his ball club idea. Neither does Bill Foster, for that matter. They can get him in that corner now. He's got to throw long.
Whoa, almost broke it up. Out to Dudley Bradley. So that was the closest call we've had to a jump ball. Remember, you can only hold it 5 seconds with a guy guarding him. But under the ACC rule, that was a near walk by O'Korn.
That was close.
Under the ACC rule, you don't have jump balls. You alternate possession. There's the turnover, and Duke's got the ball.
That's what I was talking about.
Now near steal, and a foul is called on Dudley Bradley. Bradley on the tip to steal commits his first personal foul. It's going to be Duke's ball. Now there's timeout on the court. The score still Duke 2, North Carolina nothing.
What do I think about life insurance? Well, I always felt the time you need it the most is when you can afford it the least. But then I talked to this pilot life agent who really understood about the high cost of raising kids. Got me all the protection they need now, at the price I can afford now. Jason, you've got it made. With a little help from the pilot, of course.
Pilot helps you through life.
I know exactly what I want in a truck, and I haven't seen it yet. Toyota, what do you got?
The all-new 79 SR5 long bed sport truck. A new sculptured look outside. A new torsion bar front suspension, a car-like ride.
You got a Toyota.
Tough as a truck, smooth as a car.
Toyota, You got it.
You ask for it, you got it, Toyota.
Now stand by, folks. We're going to show you the highlight plays of the first half. Bones.
All right, you see that Corin tossed the ball, and it was Yoniker threw it to him, and Spanarkel was the one deflected it, and here comes Denard up with the ball, and you're going to see Dudley Bradley foul him right here. Wham, he got him.
Well, the personal foul by Bradley gives possession to Duke. Now the tables have turned a little bit. Duke with a 2-0 lead. They get a chance to attack. If they go up 4-0, Bones, does North Carolina still stick to the deep freeze?
I think it would be questionable there. I believe he might go ahead and play. It's only 6 minutes and 50-some seconds to play.
North Carolina in the zone. This changes Duke's outlook a little bit, too, doesn't it? They can't play with the same abandon because they're not getting possession that often.
They've got to get an inside shot, a real good shot. They aren't going to give it up without a good shot. I think they were told that at the timeout by Bill Foster, I'm sure. We cannot just take a shot. Go down and run, put it up, they're going to go right back and hold.
Duke scored in the first 30 seconds, a follow-up by Vince Taylor, who's no longer in the lineup. Now we've played 13.5 minutes, and it's still that same score, 2-0.
Denard sneaking along that baseline down there. They're going to look for one of those alley-oop passes in a few minutes.
Jaminsky hanging around the basket. One of the main reasons North Carolina is in a zone because of Jaminsky.
They're playing a 2-3, but it's really a matchup zone. Jaminsky was open for a few minutes for one of his good shots, but not the kind of shot that I believe Foster would want him to take.
It's a different kind of stall that Duke is running here. There it is, Banks in close. And there's Jaminsky following and foul by Yoniker.
He got good position, and that's the problem with the zone. You have no assignments to block out. And of course, Jaminsky slipped right inside of Yoniker.
Now there's timeout on the court. So score, Duke 2, North Carolina 0.
Who knows what's real today? Artificial this, artificial that. It's almost everywhere, but not in Pabst beers.
Because Pabst won't shortcut nature with chemicals or artificial ingredients. Pabst Blue Ribbon, Pabst Extra Light, Ondecker. Pabst brews the best taste in beer, honestly. Quality since 1844.
I can't believe the house is already sold. I'm glad Fred told us to call Fonville Morrissey Realtors. Any real estate firm that sells over $30 million in residential real estate in 1 year has to be good.
Over $30 million in 1 year. That's impressive. When you think about it, Fonville Morrissey couldn't be that successful unless they were being recommended by other satisfied customers.
I know. I'm sold on Fonville Morrissey.
Hey, how about the Bakers? They're looking for a new home.
Raleigh and Carey are sold on Fonville Morrissey Realtors.
Duke wanted all the time. Banks is going up in the air. He takes the shot. Now watch Jaminsky slide in there. He gets the ball off the board. Now watch Yoniker was out of position and went over the top and fouled him.
One of the reasons they really can't challenge Banks on that play, Bones, he is so good at the drop-off or dump-off pass. They've got to lay off of it. They put pressure on him. He'll find an open man in close.
Jim, some people may think this is a night off for the officials, but this is really a tough game for them to call because anything they call is going to be seen by everybody because of the slowdown.
Now you can see effects, perhaps, of the added pressure of this type of a score. Everything is magnified. Jaminsky will go again for his second free throw. 3-0 now. Full court pressure by Duke. North Carolina is not taking a shot yet. And we've played over 14 minutes.
Boy, oh me. That was a Bobby Feller throw if I've ever seen one.
3-0. Are they up? They're still going to spread it out. North Carolina still in their slow-down attack here, trailing 3-0. Tar Heels have not taken a shot. North Carolina this year averaging 77.5 points a game.
Well, I'll tell you something. They've got Yoniker in a different position from what they had him before. They've got him way down in the corner now, trying to get him to slide in behind Banks. Now, he could do it right now. Banks knows where he is.
There he is. You can see Banks.
Yoniker was way up high, and they were using a triangle on this side, but they got in trouble because of that, and they pushed him down. Spanarkel's supposed to stay with him. Just in time, I counted 3.5.
They tried to make a backdoor move that time, and Banks stopped it. There goes Bernardo, ties him up.
Yeah, but I think the ball's out of bounds to North Carolina.
Yeah, it'll be North Carolina's ball, but
now
if there's another jump ball, Duke can get the ball. That's the rule in the Atlantic Coast Conference. It means Smith talking to his defensive wizard, Dudley Bradley.
I think they underestimate how quick Spanarkel is, and you can't let him get too close. Now, you may race him the length of the floor and beat him, but you aren't going to beat him from 3 feet.
Has very long arms. Oh, he almost threw a charge. 3-0 the score. Duke in the lead.
That's where they wanted to get it down to Yoniker.
They're getting very close to the 5-second call here. There's Yoniker again. This time he clears it out quickly.
Nobody should hold the ball long if they want this to work, because get it to the first 3 man you see and don't piddle around.
Yoniker takes the shot, the first one for North Carolina, and Duke's got the ball.
Boy, he got nothing but ass.
They went 15 minutes and 53 seconds before taking a shot. 3:55 go in the first half. Duke leads 3 under. Cheminsky took.
Now all of that patience they had and all the way they come, the crowd is gone.
5-point lead by Duke, 5-0. North Carolina is still going to stick to the deliberate attack. But now the fans are getting in the act. Out of bounds, a turnover to Duke.
This is a problem with doing this, Jim. You've got to be absolutely perfect at it.
Now Duke has momentum building. A 5-0 lead. They'll get the ball. Now there's timeout on the court, and the score is Duke 5, North Carolina 0.
I don't know you, but I know what that is. That's a Hardee's Big Roast Beef Sandwich. My all-time favorite food. Sliced thin, tender, tall and juicy, and it smells so good. And I am so hungry.
Let's go, runner.
I'll be back for the French fries.
Hardee's, best eating in town, up and down and all around.
Estate planning? Always figured that was for millionaires. Then my Pilot Life agent pointed out that every family benefits from making plans in advance. Now I have a life insurance plan that will make sure, for one thing, that this house will be lived in, not sold off. I'm no millionaire, but with a little help from the pilot, my estate's in good shape. But not this mailbox.
Pilot helps you through life.
Here's one of the few baskets you're going to see in the first half. Watch Banks feed that ball. Cheminsky goes up and dunks, but what you did not notice, maybe, was the manner in which he held Yoniker where he had him, right on his hip, until time to break for the basket.
5-0. That's the Duke lead. In case you're joining us late, North Carolina put the game on ice at the very outset. After Duke got the first 2 points, North Carolina held the ball until turnovers here forced them to take a shot, which they missed. They've taken only 1 shot. And now the Blue Devils get it on another bad pass with a 5-0 lead and 3.5 minutes to go. And the question now is, how much longer will North Carolina insist on the slowdown? Now Duke's going to pull North Carolina out of the zone. Oh.
Well, I guess Bill Foster said, well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
They can force North Carolina can come out now because Duke's in the lead 5-0. Now the home fans are going to love this because this is their team dictating things.
Well, they're not making much of an effort. North Carolina is right now so far as trapping them like Duke was making on North Carolina. They got about a full-way movement there. That's the way to move the ball as quickly as you can. As long as you dribble it, you're going to let somebody get up on you. Right away, they're turning the ball loose. A little fake one way and go the other. That's all they got to do. You got to fake, little movement now. North Carolina will keep coming until they try for a trap. They got to try for a trap, but they have no one on the other side now. Need to move Banks down a little bit. He and Denard can shake hands. Now he moved it down.
It's the same lineup for Duke that went to the NCAA final game last year, losing to Kentucky in the championship.
Jim, has the team ever gone out with no points at the half?
I suppose so, but I don't recall. Banks made a little fake.
You notice the Duke team's faking the ball on most occasions, and that's the thing to do to make the defense go the opposite way and then throw back.
2 or 3 really great passers on this Duke team, Bones. Banks may be the best, Bender's excellent, and Spanarkel.
You see Denard fake him that time, fake with his head.
So they'll keep the defense very, very honest.
That's the first time Spanarkel's touched it in what seems like hours. Now they're about to pin up now. They pin up. Dudley Bradley should have gone down deep.
They almost has Spanarkel coming in from the backside.
They got Mr. Outlet all the time in Jaminsky. They can always have an outlet.
1:25 to go. We're getting down close to halftime. We'll remind you that Wheat First Security's Fast Break halftime show again visits 2 legendary characters out of the past. Former referees Lou Bellow and Charlie Ekman. If you didn't see the first show, you don't want to miss this one. 2 funny fellows, Bones. I know you remember both.
Yeah, I had them many times.
Duke leads 5-0. Now the Blue Devils are playing a little tease game of their own. 59 seconds to go. They might just wait here for the last shot. I don't think North Carolina's going to get a point in the first half, Bones.
I don't believe they will. I believe they're going to run it down. They're making a little bit more effort now. They're going to drag that foot in a minute. Now he needs to flip it quick.
Well, you can say it's been 1 half in which Duke did not make a mistake, right?
That's right.
So far. 35 seconds to go in the half.
Jaminsky gets rid of it. He doesn't want it in there because he knows 5 men are clamping. If he does, he's going to hit somebody under the basket.
30 seconds to go in the half.
Watch every time the ball goes into Jaminsky, how Banks goes that baseline to go that hook.
20 seconds to go. Duke's not going to wait for the last shot of the half. They're leading 5-0.
They may not even take it, Jim.
It's going to look like a football score.
They got to go now.
Maybe. And a foul on O'Korn. He just fouled Banks with 10 seconds to go. So perhaps North Carolina's going to get the ball and a chance for a shot. This telecast is presented by the authority of the Atlantic Coast Conference and the C.D. Chesley Company, and any use of this program without written consent is prohibited. The announcers on this program have been approved and contracted for by the C.D. Chesley Company. Yannicker replaced the lineup by Pete Budko. Duke can still get the ball in bounds, of course, and wait down for the last shot. And to Spanarkel. Double team. Spanarkel gets off the shot, scores. 6 seconds to go, 7-0. North Carolina's got 2 seconds. Colescott from 40 feet, and North Carolina's been shut out, much by its own design in the first half against Duke University. The nation's 4th-ranking team, coming up with a 0, is a victim of its own stalling tactics thus far. So that's the end of the first half of play with a score. Duke 7 and North Carolina nothing. We'll be back in a moment with our halftime show.
Next time you fly, say hello to Piedmont Airlines, the quick, comfortable way to go, whether you're flying for business or a holiday. Our roomy jets go to where the business is. Small cities, big cities, over 90 cities in all. We've got pleasure flights to America's resorts, too. The beaches, golf courses, your favorite ski country. See your travel agent or give us a call.
Say hello, hello, Piedmont Airlines.
How you feeling, night people? Feeling like me? Got a headache and upset stomach? Well, here's the most beautiful sound of the evening. Listen to the sound of fast relief. Alka-Seltzer. It instantly begins to break up acid indigestion and speeds relief to your aching head.
That sounds fast.
That sounds fast.
That sounds fast.
You feeling better, people? So what do you say? Oh, what a relief it is. Fast, fast, fast.
All right, stand by, folks. Here comes the highlight reel of the first half.
I think it's the highlights. Here's one of them. Jaminsky for a pass from Banks, makes a dunk, and then right at the end.
That was one. Now here's the other one.
Okay.
Jaminsky on the dunk shot. That Duke of 5.
Okay, what's Spanarkel? I think he was fouled there, but he made a good move in. I'm not so sure he didn't slip the foot a little bit, but he made a basket, and that was the highlights of the first half.
North Carolina took only 2 shots the entire first half, one an air ball, and the other one a 40-footer that was also short. And it's 7-0 in favor of Duke. We pause now for station identification. This is the Atlantic Coast Conference Television Network.
Wife abuse is not a problem of the poor. It affects women of all economic levels, ages, and races. If it affects you, contact Wake County Women's Aid, Services for Abused Women.
Yes, sir.
Do you take trade-ins?
Sir, this is Shoney's.
I bought this hamburger some other place, and I
you should have come to Shoney's, home of the double-deck hamburger, big boy.
I only took one little bite out of it.
No.
I'll throw in this cola.
No.
You're right, this imitation doesn't compare. Bring me a big boy.
Right away.
Now, these fries are like new.
You're gonna love Shoney's.
We borrowed some nice ideas from your mother, like fresh ingredients and lots of choices.
And here's your fudge cake.
I'll trade you the Slate Model Sundae with the original nut. See? Look.
Hi, I'm Cale Yarborough. To be a winner, I drive a quality, precision-built car that I can depend on. I put the General Electric heat pump year-round comfort system into my new home because it had all the qualities I was looking for. Plus, I got this cash refund direct from GE to me. I mean us.
See Tar River Roofing and Air Conditioning, 218 South Main Street in Lewisburg. The one and only for ACC basketball.
Back at Cameron Indoor Stadium in Duke University, where it's a rather bizarre score at halftime, 7-0. Duke, the leader over fourth-ranked North Carolina, all because North Carolina held the ball. Well, another championship was decided, and that was the Atlantic Coast Conference Swimming Championship, the 21st annual title. Went again to North Carolina State, a dynasty that began under Willis Casey and is continuing. 586 points was the final count. The University of North Carolina finished runner-up, over 100, well, exactly 180 points behind them. Then came Duke, Maryland, Clemson, Virginia, and Wake Forest. And the top individual performer was Ken Ireland. He took both of his backstroke first places in today's 21st annual Atlantic Coast Conference Swimming and Diving Championship Finals. 7-0 here, Duke University leading North Carolina. Stay tuned now for Fast Break, an interesting look inside all basketball.
Wheat First Securities brings you Fast Break with Billy Packer.
I told you Fast Break would return to visit with these two referees, Lou and Charlie. Any game being worked by Bello and Ekman, especially in tandem, was a treat for many fans. I'll be back to relive some of the old days along Tobacco Road after this word from Wheat First Securities.
Many people think of Wheat First Securities as basically a brokerage firm, which is fine. That's a large part of what we do. But sound investment counseling goes way beyond stocks and bonds, so we offer other financial services, like insurance, financial planning, commodities, and tax shelters. There's more than one reason to give us a call. For sound financial advice, talk to Wheat First.
Lou, what do you think about the three-man officiating?
I really am in favor of it, Bill. Not only is there more men, every other sport has added officials until this year. Basketball, it's needed. The fast break. The average college player is in his early 20s. The referees are 40, 45, 50. So it gets the good coverage and what the coaches all want nowadays, to play off the ball. I finally have realized, after all those years of refereeing, the play off the ball. They're setting the blocks, setting the picks. They were getting away with that. There's no question about it. We were watching the ball. I think they improved the mechanics. It's really going to improve the game. It's great. The pros have even adopted it.
And today, with these three referees, they got a symphony going on out there. They got, let me tell you something, Billy. They could put 5 referees out there. And if they can't referee, there ain't nothing going to happen any different. They're going to have the same old garbage, the same you choke, and the usual profanity and the stuff that goes with it. Last night, they had a play. The kid drove baseline. The guy's under the board, the referee. Goes by him. Now, the guy in the middle of the floor, I don't know what he's supposed to be doing, but he's looking in there, too. The guy from the back, he calls a phantom foul. I don't know where the hell he got that foul, right? But he give it a toot, and that brought Sloan up 14 feet in the air. Now, he ain't even near him. Now, if he'd have been refereeing 2 men, he'd have been over there having the play come to him. But because he has 3 men, he has a tendency to loaf. And he said, well, it's going that way. And he saw the other guy didn't do nothing, so he give it one of them. I said to myself, ain't this awful?
Now, Charlie, let me be honest, though. The game has changed. The guys are playing 90 feet all the time. If you don't have 3 guys, how are you going to get there?
Let me tell you something, Billy. That whistle slows up 96 guys. They could play 450 feet. If I get tired, I'm blowing that whistle. I got to travel. I got something going on out there. And if I'm getting that tired, I don't belong out there. But at 90 feet don't mean anything to me. I ran for years. My ankle's hurt. And with this game tonight, I can referee any game in the ACC with 3 men. If he gives me that foul line to foul line, he don't need to worry about no problems getting out of hand. I'll take care of the situation.
The toughest call to make.
Billy, when you were playing and in my day, charge and block. But they made it easy if you hit the man with your body. You know what the toughest call is now? And it just came in as I was finishing up. Everybody is so big. There's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The hands around the basket. Interference. Basket interference. Grabbing that ball, batting it away on its downward flight. I think that's the toughest call now. I don't think there's any question about it. I think they're going to have to raise the basket, and they will raise the basket.
You know, we talk about mechanics in refereeing. You know, the perfect mechanics, the proper dress code, the hands, the movement. How about your mechanics?
Well, when I did the charge call, Billy, I would give him, and you hit him, and I'd go all the way. The other night, I'm watching a ball game, and the referee went like that. He went, whop, he hit himself on the head. I thought he was going on the floor. The poor kid, he went down the floor stumbling. I said to myself,
that's the proper way, though.
What? Oh, is that proper? He's going to be goofy before the season's over. If he gets many charge plays, this guy's got to go to the funny point. He's got to be a nut.
You know, Lou, your buddy Charlie, favorite sign was the old hitting on the head, the old charge. Yours great one was the run.
Oh, yeah, you know, see, Charlie was built so close to the ground, he'd love to do that. But I had him beat. I would give him that like that, and I give the Groucho. The Groucho marks low and up and down. Groucho, charging, traveling.
To the other end of the floor.
Always.
I want you to watch this play right here,
all right.
Okay? And when it's over, I want you to tell me, you know, what, charge or block.
Right.
All right? All right, what do you think?
Well, I think it was a charge.
It was a charge?
Yeah,
no question.
No doubt in my mind.
Now, Lou, take a look at this. The charge and the block. Tough situation.
Now, I was a charge official. I love the charge. I give him the bucket. But that one, there's no question. The player got in front of it, moved in front. It's a block. It's a block, Billy. Block.
Now, how about this one? It's a little different situation.
I think you could have called that a block.
Could have blocked. A block. Okay. No question.
Well, no question, but I made it look like it was no question.
Now, Lou, let's take a look at that tough call, the charge and the block.
It was the toughest call in our day. But that one right there, there's no question about it. It's obviously charge, Hi-O Silver.
For all the changes in the ACC officiating since Charlie and Lou moved on, some things have remained the same. Basketball officials still have a difficult job, and few of us would switch places with them. I'm Billy Packer, and this has been a Wheat First Securities Fast Break.
All right, folks, honest, no kidding. The score at halftime is Duke 7 and North Carolina nothing. We'll return with more halftime activities after this important message.
It was a long, hard run, but I finally won. Now it's all behind. Got blue ribbon on my mind. I've got Pabst Blue Ribbon on my mind.
There are a lot of beers, but there's only one, Pabst. It's brewed to be the best, naturally, with no artificial ingredients, and you can taste it.
I've got Pabst Blue Ribbon on my mind.
Shh. You hungry, Ernie?
Like a bear.
You know what I'm thinking about? Hardee's Big Cheese. 2 pure beef burgers, charbroiled, with a whole lot of tangy melted cheese, all hot and juicy.
I must be dreaming. I can smell that big cheese.
Well, open your eyes, good buddy, and you can see it.
Bless your warm little heart.
Hardee's, best eating in town, up and down and all around.
Well, the deep freeze has hit the deep south tonight. North Carolina holding the ball on Duke 7-0. That's the halftime score. Wasn't totally unexpected.
No, it wasn't. The way it came about, I think, was unexpected, Jim. I thought if North Carolina got a lead, I believed if they got a lead of 2-0, that they would hold the ball. But when they were behind 2-0, I didn't think they would. And then after Jaminski made the foul shot and it was 3-0, I felt that they'd go on and play. But evidently, the game plan was not that. Now, Dean could have told his fellas at the half, look, we could have been 7 points behind. It could have been 37-30. I believe North Carolina will come out and play the second half.
Okay, it's been a long day in the Atlantic Coast Conference. The standings will show you how the pairings are shaping up. This game, of course, is for first place, or at least a share of it. Duke needs to win to get a tie with North Carolina. There's a bye for first place. If there's a tie, they'll draw it out of the hat tomorrow morning. Virginia defeated Maryland by 3 points this afternoon and clinched third place. They will play the team that is sixth. Maryland will play Clemson. We know that in the night game next Thursday because Maryland finished fourth, Clemson fifth. But Wake Forest and North Carolina State So State win by 23 points, and they've tied for 6th place. They'll also have to draw to break that tie. So that'll be tomorrow morning at the commissioner's office in Greensboro, and it's going to be the loser of this ball game, whether it's a tie or whether Duke loses it, against the winner of that draw, either State or Wake. That's how it shapes up.
Well, you know, people are going to say, if Duke North Carolina loses, they're going to say that Dean played it wrong. If they come back and win, they're going to say played it right. Same thing for Foster.
Look at the zeros on those statistics. By the way, not only has North Carolina not scored in the first half, they haven't scored a basket. Maybe the first time in history a team hasn't even hit the rim.
No iron at all. They were short. Yoniker overshot the basket, and Cole Scott, in desperation, undershot the basket. Other than that, there hasn't been an attempt made.
Well, you heard Bones. He expects to see North Carolina come out and go at it at a fast pace, which is their normal style of play when the second half gets underway. It's still just a 7-point lead by Duke University, even though the Tar Heels have yet to score. The teams have returned to the court, so we'll be back in a moment for the start of the second half after this message.
Hello, Main Street, USA. Hello, Fifth Avenue. Hello, smiling Southern faces. Hello, busy Northeast places. From the middle of America to the Outer Banks. Just say hello, say hello. Hello, Piedmont Airlines. Say hello, say hello. Hello, Piedmont Airlines.
A couple of years back, crops around here didn't look quite so pretty. The drought hit us hard. Corn turned brown and the ponds dried up. We almost lost it. NCNB kept me going that year. They knew I was good for it, and I was. You know, maybe this is one family farm that'll always be a family farm.
North Carolina now has returned to the court. Duke's been out for about the last 5 minutes warming up. Very little action in the first half, as you know. North Carolina holding the ball, and it's 7-0 right now at the half. The second half of tonight's telecast is brought to you by the Pilot Life Insurance Company and your local Pilot representative. Pilot, the company that helps you through life. And by Hardee's. Hardee's, best eaten in town, up and down and all around. By Pabst Blue Ribbon. Pabst is brewed to be the best naturally with no artificial ingredients, and you can taste it. By Holly Farms Chicken. Nothing but the best for you. By Toyota. You asked for it, you got it. Toyota. By Piedmont Airlines, now serving over 90 cities in 16 states. Piedmont, making new places part of our world and yours. And by NCNB, the people who know that to be the best bank in the state, you have to be the best in the neighborhood. Now, because of the no-jump ball rule in the Atlantic Coast Conference, Duke University is going to get a chance immediately to add to its 7-0 lead, because the Blue Devils, I believe, will have their turn here to get the ball out of bounds.
That's exactly right, because there was one jump ball and North Carolina got it out of bounds. Now it goes to Duke.
So Duke will start the second half with possession from backcourt. North Carolina is setting up in a pressure defense. They're going to go full court pressure. Might be a tip-off here. They're going to come out of their stalling game and play a 20-minute ball game, trailing by 7 points. Man-for-man matchup. So North Carolina is going man-for-man. Spanarkel baseline. Behind him is Dudley Bradley. Same starting lineups here for the second half. This is Bender, now Spanarkel looking at Butchaminski. And there's a personal foul charging on Spanarkel. That turns it back over. That, by the way, is the first personal foul of the ball game against Duke. They committed none.
Watch the move. Spanarkel gets it over his head. Now he pushes him off with his left arm, his shoulder there. And, of course, the referee got right on top of it and called it right.
Had he gone straight, Bones, right into the legs of Bradley, would have been a blocking foul, no doubt.
Right. Now let's see if they don't move in there. They're going to move after it now. They believe they can score against them.
North Carolina's given up at stall. Now they're going to attack. Zone defense by Duke, a 2-3.
They're going to take a good shot and try to get back in this ball game.
Ball kicked out by Denard.
And, Jim, if they get back in it, they're going to go back to the stall. I'm saying if they get a tie ball game.
7-0 right now, Duke leading. North Carolina's not hit the rim yet. They've taken 2 shots, both missing.
And Duke has that zone packed back in there to make them take that outside shot because they know the little chance they have.
O'Korn takes the shot. He saw his man in the air. I think he just did that because he had Denard in the air.
That's right. He threw it up to get it, and he got iron that time. That's the first time. Watch this move. Here's O'Korn going. Now, he sees he's going to fall into him, so he's going to turn it loose, which is smart basketball. He's going to get 2 shots for him.
I don't think O'Korn was going to shoot.
No, he wasn't.
Well, Mike O'Korn and Mike Jaminski today were named to the Basketball Writers All-America First 5. And that's the first point of the ball game by North Carolina. By Mike O'Korn. They did not score in the first half of Tar Heels. It's now 7-1. 7-2.
Now they're going to try to trap. They're going to use every defensive measure they have now in this second half.
Have a great defensive team, as all of you know. Under Spanarkel, great pass from Banks.
You're right. That Banks is a great pass. A beautiful pass to Spanarkel. And Spanarkel will go on that blind side. You turn your head just for a second, you're dead.
9-2. Duke back this 7-point lead. Now we're back into some normal action here in the Atlantic Coast Conference. This game, the first place hanging in the balance. North Carolina right now has a 1-game lead, but they're trailing in this game, and Duke could tie for it for the win.
Just a minute, O'Korn was open a minute ago, but execution is a thing now, and they've got to get back into the flow of the game. They haven't played any yet.
They still have to be patient here against the zone, Bones. That could be difficult. Here's Bradley. Bradley on the outside. First field goal of the game at 18-20. So they went 21 minutes and 40 seconds without a field goal in this game. Backdoor, Spanarkel. That'll be goaltending. Backdoor cut by Jim Spanarkel, and Duke is up to 11-4.
He'll change direction on you, go behind you. He's just absolutely fantastic at that.
18 minutes to go in the game.
Look at that zone packed back in there. 2-3. They're not going to go out very far. They're staying inside the foul circle. Slide from one side to the other.
They're going to test North Carolina's outside shooting. Cole's got time to penetrate.
They could have pulled up and taken a nice little jumper in there. Might have been slapping down his throat.
Best outside shooter is this man right here, Al Wood. Dudley Bradley not too bad. Neither is Cole Scott. Dudley Bradley again. Out to Spanarkel, and Duke's got the ball. What a fast break. Jaminski to Bender. Bender driving.
That's a good pass by Jaminski. Good hesitation by Bender. He didn't just take it and drive home. He looked as if he was going to pass the ball.
13-4 as Duke now goes up by 9. We're in the first 3 minutes of the second half. And now the action in the game is on this time. Al Wood, the corner for North Carolina.
Jim, you notice that defense for Duke, it slides all the way across the foul line to the other side once they get it on that side.
13-6. It's going to be a 20-minute ball game, and that's what David Deesmith was playing for. Or at least what he settled for. Jimmy Banks, always a threat, excellent passer. Bob Bender in trouble. Banks, inside pass, broken up by North Carolina. The Bears, Spanarkel putting it up on the goal. Will not count. There was a foul on the play against Yannick before the shot. Second personal foul on Rich Yannick of North Carolina. Nope, it was on Jaminski. I'm sorry, the foul was on Jaminski. We want to tell you that tonight's game between Clemson and Buffalo State has been rescheduled for tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Buffalo State was unable to get to Clemson for today's scheduled night game. North Carolina on the attack, trailing by 7.
Now they go out a little ways on Woods, much further than they go out on Cole Scott.
O'Korn driving. Deflected. Jaminski the rebound. There's a foul on the play. It'll be on Wood. Al Wood fouling on the play. How hard is it to readjust, Bones, after you've been on just a standing around tempo?
Well, it takes a little time for you to get into the flow of things. And it's going to take North Carolina a little while. They've got to find the men that they want to hit.
Let's see if they can pick up that personal foul.
All right, you see Bud goes. He tries to go up and put the ball in the basket. You see Jaminski there. Now, here you see Al Wood.
Right down across the neck of Kenny Denard. Now they've got something wrong with the clock here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. They're looking down into the North Carolina huddle. And on the bench down there is Walter Davis, one of the outstanding young players of the NBA and a former All-American in North Carolina.
I think the problem is that clock's not used to running that much. There's Walter Davis. He's been injured, plays for Phoenix, the Pro League. Somebody told me that not anybody but Walter was the greatest basketball player. Walter Davis.
Well, Walter Davis wrote the greatest comeback that ever was scored by North Carolina against a Duke team. He scored 8 points, well, was it, in about 17 seconds?
Something like that.
Or led that rally about 4 or 5 years ago. 13-6 the score. 7-point lead by Duke. Gene Banks. Here goes Spanarkel down the middle. Spanarkel driving, got the basket, and he's fouled. Personal foul is on Jed Doughton. Basket is good.
You see him slide his body through there.
Well, Spanarkel's fired up for this one, and now there's timeout on the court. The score, Duke 15 and North Carolina 6.
Sail with the pilot at the wheel on a ship sturdy from its mast to its keel. He rides through storm and wave, ensures you while you sail. Sail with the pilot all the way, so get on board the pilot ship today.
We've looked high and low for a car that'll start.
In all kinds of weather.
Toyota, what have you got?
Dependable right from the start. The 1979 Toyota Corolla. A fully transistorized ignition system. A car reliable even in the nastiest weather. Corolla quality from start to finish.
Toyota, you got it!
Ask for it, you got a Toyota.
You know, I'll bet there was a lot of good country cooking that came from that old log cabin. Probably baked bread in an iron skillet on an open hearth. And don't you know that was a good aroma? And you can still get bread baked from the old-timey recipes. It's called Old Hearth, Bunny Old Hearth. Just plain down-home, old-timey natural bread. No preservatives and baked with 100% pure vegetable shortening. So for down-home, old-timey bread, reach for Old Hearth, Bunny Old Hearth, the 3 meals a day bread.
Watch Spanarkel now as he slides through. You see him turn his body sideways, and it was Doughton that got him from the rear.
Yeah, one of the byproducts of this slowdown game could cost Jim Spanarkel some of the records he's challenging for. He's 54 points behind Art Heyman in the all-time scoring. He's like 6 assists behind Dick DiVinzio, and he's heading for free throw and field goal record all time. Right now, in this game, he scored 9 points. He's outscored the entire North Carolina team. It's 16-6, and this is Duke's biggest lead. Believe it or not, zone press trapping for Duke, but now North Carolina's got it in. The Blue Devils drop back in their 2-3, keeping Jaminski in the lane.
Except for when Wood gets the ball or Corin gets it, they stay inside that foul circle or the foul circle distance. They're backing up protected against Bradley. They're backing off of Doughton just far enough to hold their arm up. Now he was got the shot off.
Jed Doughton on the outside takes that shot. North Carolina was not taking that shot in the first half, as you well know.
He split the seam. The 2 guards were split between him, and he just went up and put it in.
16-8, Duke. Gene Banks, a little bit of a collision with O'Corin.
It's like the umpire said, it ain't nothing till I call it. That looked like something.
A lot of action away from the ball here by Duke. Here's Spanarkel drive. He got hit from behind. Now the fast break, Al Wood coming in. There's Denard with a great block. Kenny Denard unbelievably cutting the path of the quick Al Wood and made a fantastic defensive play.
Watch this move. Dowden's going to pass the ball to Al Wood. Now watch Denard. He's going to have to keep his eye on the ball, not anything else. That's all he got. He couldn't have just thrown his arm in there. Had to look at the ball as he did it.
Now Duke is zoning again. It's 16-8. 8-point lead by Duke. North Carolina went a half tonight without scoring. Maybe a new conference record. At least ties one. Al Wood on the outside. The second basket here in the second half for North Carolina. 16-10. North Carolina getting back in the game. Great touch pass into Jaminski. Won't count. The foul came first. The foul was on Yanniker, but that was some pass work by Duke. Watch it again. Well, it was close, Bones, but 16-10. 14 minutes to go in the ball game. A 6-point lead by Duke. Now Spanarkel's open from the corner. Rebound by Al Wood. Had a man in the open, didn't see him. Bob Bender slows down the break. It's Jed Doughton to Jeff Wolf, who's come on. Now Doughton on the outside again. Rebound from Denard, batted away by North Carolina. Duke's basketball, and the Blue Devils are up 16-10. Still almost 14 minutes to go in the game. Here's a steal by Dudley Bradley. Good fake by Bradley on the drive. Denard again has got it. All right, Denard's pulled down the last 2 rebounds, and Al Wood fouls in the backcourt. Second personal foul on Al Wood. And now that's team foul number 4. And there you see again, Al Wood made a nice move, and now you see Denard cleanly has the rebound, and Wood stays back here to press. You'll see how that cost him. Right there, just goes over the top, and Denard does a good job protecting the ball. All court pressure now by North Carolina, but Denard's got it over the line. Double teaming, now North Carolina putting on pressure. Denard behind his back, loose ball, Denard recovers. It's a fancy passing Duke team. If you watch them, you know that. (16-10). Lob pass to Jaminski on the inside. He's blocked and fouled. The foul's going to be on Al Wood. He got in too late. 3 fouls now on Al Wood, the leading scorer of the season for North Carolina.
That was a good pass, and it was close. It was like Bellows said a minute ago. You see the pass going in from Denard over to Banks, and Banks lobbed the ball in. And I believe he got there just a little bit late.
You got to give a man room to come down,
That's right,
Bones.
that's right.
Once he gets up in the air, you have to allow him to come down. Wood didn't do that. Vince Taylor's now in the Duke lineup. Double team on Banks, but there's Spanarkel lobbing to Jaminski, and Jaminski, big guy's got it, a block by Wolf, and right back it comes to Banks. Gene Banks' first basket. There's a foul on the play. Personal foul against North Carolina, and I will try to pick up who it was. I think it might have been Wolf. Well, watch the play again. Let's see.
Here's Banks going up. He's got a piece of his arm. The ball goes through the basket. And, of course, you know what that makes it, 2 points.
Jeff Wolf. O'Korn gets charged with a foul, his second. Well, Banks will be at the line. Could be a 3-point play. That is team foul number 6 against North Carolina. So Duke now goes to the bonus with 13 minutes to go. Eugene Banks. And those are his first 3 points of the game. 19-10. Now Duke with a zone press. Tapping backcourt. Al Wood on the stop. Wood now is beginning to pick up some of the scoring for North Carolina. 6 points he's gotten in the second half. 19-12. Vince Taylor, tremendous quickness and speed. Lob pass to Banks. Back to Vince Taylor. Taylor being challenged. North Carolina now is stepping up its defensive pressure.
As slow as they were the first half, they certainly picked the tempo up now.
Here goes Spanarkel under reverse layup. Wonderful shot by Jim Spanarkel. 21-12. Duke is back to a 9-point lead.
You can't walk the baseline better than that.
It's the type of action you might expect from these two teams. We're getting it here in the second half. Al Wood, in out, rebound, tipped off to Spanarkel. Spanarkel now settles things down. Duke leads by 9 points. They want to get it inside to Mike Gminski, who was named All-America First Team today by the Basketball Writers, along with Mike O'Korn. Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, also on that team. Man-for-man defense by North Carolina, double teaming on the switch.
Taylor looks a little reluctant to shoot the ball. He had a good shot that time.
There's the lob to Gminski, but it's picked off alertly by Wolf. North Carolina can pull back within 7. Down pass is broken up, but Wolf gets it back.
I don't think Al Wood was expecting the ball that time, and you should always be disappointed if you don't get it. Never be surprised when they pass it to you.
Jed Doughton from the perimeter. Rebound is down to Wolf. There's a foul. That'll be on Bob Bender of Duke University. First foul on Bender. 4th team foul of the half, and now there's a timeout on the court with a score. Duke 21, North Carolina 12.
70 calories. You can't beat that.
That's Extra Light. Half the calories, all the taste, naturally.
How do you like that beer? It's terrific. That's because naturally brewed Pabst Extra Light has 70 calories, half the calories of our regular beer.
Right. And it's a lot less filling, and I get all the taste I want.
That's Extra Light. Half the calories, all the taste, naturally.
Don't say light. Say extra light.
I don't know you, but I know what that is. That's a Hardee's Big Roast Beef Sandwich. My all-time favorite food. Sliced thin, tender, tall and juicy, and it smells so good. And I am so hungry.
Let's go, runner.
I'll be back for the French fries.
Hardee's, best eating in town, up and down and all around.
Watch this, watch Spanarkel go the baseline, left-handed now. Watch him, he continues to go. He makes a good move. He doesn't step out of bounds, makes a backspin with the ball, and makes the basket and brings the house down.
There's no record kept officially in the Atlantic Coast Conference on fewest points scored by a team in one half. But I think maybe we have a new one established here tonight.
Well, Jim, if you go way, way, way back, I think there was one team that didn't score at all in the whole ball game.
Bones, you can't go way, way back in the Atlantic Coast Conference because it only goes to 1954, right?
You got some of the same teams. What's the difference?
21-12, 9-point lead by Duke. North Carolina did not score a single point in the first half. It was 7-0 at the stop. Now the action is back to a normal tempo between these two here in the second half. Great rivals.
Al Wood's not in that now, and of course, he's the man that's been hitting the basket for him.
As Colescott way outside. Longest shot of the ball game thus far. That's been hit. Colescott took a 45-footer at the half that didn't touch anything. That one did.
They played about even terms in the second half.
Yep, back to 7, 21-14. Here's Denard open from the corner. Cannot give him that shot.
They gave it to him. They didn't believe he could hit it. He did. That tore him up.
23-14, and we're exactly midway in the second half. 10 minutes to go in the game. Zone defense by Duke. If Duke wins, there'll be a tie for first place. They'll draw out of a hat for the bye for the Atlantic Coast Conference tournament next week. How important that is. It'll be tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock in the commissioner's office for the draw. They already have one draw to break a tie for 6th place. It'll be at 10:30. 10:30.
As O'Korn takes the shot, I don't believe he has.
I don't recall. Knocked down by Denard. Duke zone is keeping North Carolina way outside. They're reluctant right now to take the long shot.
Well, they're
just saw Corn pass up about an 18-footer.
They're playing on a stamp out there, and North Carolina's reluctant to make that move.
The quick hands of Spanarkel again. You were talking about, Bones.
I tell you, if he gets within 3 feet of you, he's tough. Now watch that defense come back in there. They can shake hands with one another. And once you get it on one side, they all slide over to that side.
Oh, one by Colescott again. Rebound. Jaminski gets it out to Banks.
Banks will find somebody.
Duke always breaking man for the basket.
Duke makes a good move toward the ball and then fakes and goes behind the man as well as any team I've ever seen.
Here's Johnny Harrell now guard number 22. Banks works on the inside. Gene Banks penetrating the score. 25-14. That's the biggest lead of the ball game. 11 points. 8 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Fans are yelling defense, defense. And there's the first timeout been called by North Carolina. Exactly 8 minutes to go. There's timeout on the court. No score. Duke 25, North Carolina 14.
There are lots of ways to get acid indigestion when you have a headache. Sometimes it's not what you eat, but when you eat it.
Sometimes it is what you eat.
Sometimes it's not what or when, but how much.
For all those times, take Alka-Seltzer. Listen, it's the sound of fast relief.
Oh, what a relief it is!
Put out your hand, take the hand that's gonna help you make the time of your life. Take the help we're holding here, give it to the ones that you hold dear. Go with Pilot. Pilot helps you through life.
The lowest score racked up by these teams this year for Duke was 49 points. North Carolina's low was 54 points. They beat Maryland 54-53 on that one. Duke held LaSalle to 42 points. All those records may be washed out here tonight. It's now 25-14 with 8 minutes to go.
Jim Wood, Al Wood's back in there, and so is Virgil. Now, Virgil is, John's a real good shooter, so he's put 2 real good shooters in there with O'Coy. And, of course, Wolf is still in the basketball game, and I believe Colescott is too. He's got 4 good shooters in there now. Let's see what happens.
All right, John Virgil, number 43, a junior from Elm City, New York. Excellent shooter. Here he is. Virgil, good shooting touch, blocked out of the air. Wolf's got it down the middle. Blocked by Jaminski. Out to Spanarkel.
Now we ought to see something.
Here comes Spanarkel. He's got it. 13 points for Jim Spanarkel, but Mike Jaminski slam block set it up. 27-14. Well, the crowd is really roaring now with 7.5 minutes to go. Duke's been able to stay in the zone because they got the lead. Here goes Virgil, gets off a shot. Virgil was sitting there, a designated shooter. That's exactly what he's trying to do. The first one was blocked, but this one paid off. 27-16. Johnny Harrell in the air, finds Spanarkel. Here's Banks open. Rebound by Wolf. Well, North Carolina's back in control, trailing by 13. Or trailing by 11.
The thing that's going to make it tough for North Carolina to come back is the defense that Duke's playing. They're all back.
There goes O'Corn up over Jaminski, and racing the ball is Bernard. Out to Jaminski. Duke's got the ball.
Boy, you don't see that often. He took 3 dribbles.
Spanarkel in traffic, throws it out to Jaminski. I've never seen it before, but 3 seconds. No, they're calling a double dribble. A double dribble on Spanarkel. I've never seen him roll the ball like that.
You know, that's the only way he could get it to him was to roll it on the floor. Absolutely, and he did do that on purpose.
I asked Abe Lemons once if he wanted a higher basket. He said, no, I want him to bore a hole in the floor and let him roll it in. Then the Chinese could play. So Abe would have liked that play, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I'll tell you, with the hole in the floor, you'd have to have somebody who can bowl well.
27-16 the score. Duke's in the lead. North Carolina can cut it inside 10 points here. It's sometime a big item. The ball is off the foot of Bender, out of bounds. Hank Nichols is very precise in his call over there. North Carolina will put it back in play.
He's got Jimmy Black in there now. Got some quickness. Pretty good shooter.
Good defensive player. Here he is from New York City, freshman. And now it's Virgil open again. Boy, he can fill it up, as you say, Bones, when he gets that play.
He put him in there for that purpose.
27-18. Psychologically, you get the margin down under 10 points. Sometimes fires up a team. They leave Bender open.
Duke's got to play a little keep away now.
Bernard beat his man.
He forgot Alwood was behind him.
Jaminsky really wants the ball. Down the middle, Spanarkel. Great play.
That Spanarkel is unbelievable with the way he can change direction, slide behind the man, sneak his way in.
13 points in the second half for Spanarkel. 29-18. No telling what kind of game he would have had if he'd gone full force all the way. 2-3 zone. Duke sticking with that. North Carolina didn't play for a half. Now they are. O'Korn swaying through, blocked by Jaminsky. And Al Wood fires on the return. Rebound is down by Banks. Gene Banks didn't start this game. He's had an injury lately. We thought he might still be feeling the effects of it, but he's in now. Spanarkel, backdoor one more time. Unbelievable. Unbelievable how Spanarkel has beating the defense tonight.
If we could see that move that he made. He starts toward the ball and then reverses and goes behind the man. He doesn't know where the ball is, but Spanarkel does, and he goes up and makes the basket.
Jimmy Spanarkel from Jersey City, New Jersey, high school teammate of Mike O'Korn. They're facing each other here tonight, but Spanarkel far and away is winning that duel. He now has 17 points, 15 of them in the second half. Spanarkel, we told you, closing in on 4 all-time records at Duke University. 3-point play. Nope. 31-18. And again, Duke's got his biggest lead of 13 points. Less than 5 minutes to go.
Notice the manner in which Spanarkel carries his hands, always ready to make a move. He's got them bent. He doesn't have them outstretched all the time, not all the way. He's got them like the wings of a chicken.
Super intelligent ball player. Oh, good catch by Dudley Bradley. Long one by Cole Scott. Rebound will come to Banks. As the long pass to Spanarkel. Oh, tough to catch. Very tough to catch. He has to think about the end line and try to make it over the shoulder.
Well, you know, he might as well make the attempt that he made because he'd have gone out of bounds otherwise.
Here's the other play.
There's Spanarkel as he got the pass. Beautiful play.
They're going to give him a rest. Spanarkel goes out. He's replaced by Vince Taylor, the sparkling freshman from Lexington, Kentucky.
Makes a move toward the ball. He goes behind the man. Absolutely to perfection.
31-18. Dudley Brown the inside. Now here goes Virgil again. John Virgil sent in to put some firepower in the North Carolina lineup. He's done that, but it may be too late. 31-20. Duke by 11. Blue Devils playing with poise and confidence. Vince Taylor driving, banking, and Jaminsky's got it for an inside layup. 33-20. Duke holds the 13-point lead again. Now 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Looks like they'll have to put the numbers in the hat tomorrow morning, Bones. At 10:30, they'll draw to break this tie. Looks like it's going to be that. North Carolina is very determined to work it on the inside. And it's eating up some precious time. It'll be Cole Scott from outside finally. Gold Scout will take the perimeter shot. The others are a little hesitant. 33-22.
He cannot hesitate now. The time running out.
There's the double team on Vince Taylor to pick on the freshman. Denver comes down and picks to help him out. Inside, Jaminski feeds to Denard, and they'll take it back out. They got to watch Banks. He's a clever passer when he's double teamed. Duke now working on the back door. There goes Denard for layup, and he's fouled. Kenny Denard on the baseline.
He got
fouled by Yanniker. Could have a three-point play.
He got by with that, Jim, simply because they thought he was going to pass off.
Now with 2:45 to go, there's time out on the court for score. Duke 35, North Carolina 22.
Some chicken arrives at the store frozen. Some arrives packed in ice. Not always as fresh as it could be. This is the way Holly Farms chicken arrives at the store. Sealed in its own protective Holly pack. As fresh as when it left Holly Farms. And look, it's U.S. Grade A. Only 1 chicken in 3 carries the Grade A shield. So why take chances when you can take home Holly Farms? There is a difference.
Carolina cities, Carolina towns, banks in every neighborhood, banks all around. So if we want to be your only bank, we better be a whole lot better than good. In CNB, we want to be the best bank in the neighborhood.
Now watch this situation. He does a reverse dribble. This is Denard. Now they're expecting him to pass off. He did not pass off, and Yannick did his best to block the shot, but Denard put it in the basket, and he's going to the foul line with a foul shot.
Chance for a three-point play for Kenny Denard, 6'7" sophomore from King, North Carolina. At his season's high this year, 28 points against Long Beach State. Then a ranked team.
Once Duke got that lead, they dropped back in that 2-3 zone, and it was absolutely impossible to do anything but shoot over the outside of it. That's hard to win that way.
36-22 is the biggest Duke lead of the game. Colescott's the only one taking the outside shot. They're trying to set up Virgil and Colescott. There's Colescott from the right. Rebound will be by Banks, but it's taken away by Wood. Wood now from the corner for North Carolina. Al Wood's 8th point this half. And North Carolina's going to stop the clock here with 2 minutes and 19 seconds to go. And Bones, they don't figure they're out of the game. Well, there's timeout on the court. The score, Duke 36, North Carolina
24. People together, working hand in hand, working for the family of men. Together the pilot group insurance way.
Why does Piedmont Airlines have so many different kinds of discount fares? To save you money. We have a lot of fares because so many of you fly to different places at different times for different lengths of stay. If you want to save money the next time you fly, say hello to Piedmont Airlines.
Say hello, hello, Piedmont Airlines. Say hello, Piedmont Airlines.
Here's a shot you saw just a minute ago. Jaminski blocks the shot, and he comes back to Wolf. Now watch him make his move. And he gets it blocked again by Jaminski.
Part of a makeup of an All-American player, Bones, and Jaminski was named All-America first 5 today by the basketball writers. Full court pressure by North Carolina. They got to go all out here in the final 2 minutes and 15 seconds, trailing by 12 points. Double teaming the ball leaves the open man. Duke is a pretty effective team here against double teams. Watch him find the open man.
You don't want to hold it. You don't want to hold it. They don't want fouls. They want the clock to run.
Well, North Carolina's in pretty good shape because of the slow-down first half, although 3 players have 3 fouls apiece. O'Korn, Wood, and Yannick.
Here's Denard. Now, he just keeps the ball. He should have hit the first free man he saw. Fouls, they don't need points right now. They need the clock to run.
They are on the bonus, so they may have picked out some players to foul. Virgil, Dean Smith using a platoon system. He has certain players in to play defense, and now he wants Virgil back in there, expecting to go on the offense. He brings Dudley Bradley, a defensive specialist, out of the game.
That's right. Now he's liable to run Dudley back in once they get back on defense if he gets a chance.
Now he knows Denard is hitting less than 55% of his free throws this year. They may have picked him out, Bones. They're going to test how much he can hit from the line.
The only thing, Jim, if he'd gotten rid of the ball right away, it wouldn't have made a difference. They couldn't have fouled him. They could have, but it might have been a 2-shot foul.
North Carolina, they watch them be shooting quickly. That's Al Wood, and they keep it alive. O'Korn puts it up, and now it's tapped up again. Now pulled off by Wolf. Tries to get it up, and he's fouled on the play. Personal foul by Johnny Harrell. Well, that's the best flurry of the ball game on the boards by North Carolina. Number 22, Johnny Harrell, a junior.
They went after it. You can watch them right here. As you see, O'Korn got the ball off the board and put it up. It was partially blocked. It was batted one time, and then Wolf got the ball. And now he starts up, and you're going to see Johnny Harrell as he makes a move there. He looked like got a little piece of that ball, but he got a piece of hand, too.
Dudley Bradley, the defensive specialist, is back in. He's in replacing Virgil. And now Banks comes back in for Duke, replacing Harrell. They got Harrell in for quickness on defense. They want Banks in for rebounding here. And now Bradley's back in to play defense for North Carolina. A 1-and-1 to Wolf. Everything crucial here now for North Carolina. Oh, he gets 2.
Okay, if it makes another clean one like that, they're going to call timeout again.
That was pure, huh?
Pure.
There it is. They do not stop the clock.
Did not call timeout.
And there's the long pass to Denard. Good catch. He lost it out. That'll give a turnover to North Carolina. 1 minute 41 seconds to go. North Carolina still has 3 timeouts to call. They're trailing by 10. Now here's the platoon again. Black and Dudley Bradley, the defensive players, go out. Virgil, the shooter, comes in. Jed Doughton, the shooter, comes in. Now the clock doesn't start until somebody touches it. We're down with 1 minute 35 to go, and North Carolina in dire straits. They're trailing by 10. Jed Doughton gets open. Finally it hits. There's the timeout. North Carolina kills the clock as Doughton hits from backcourt, cuts the margin to 8 with just 90 seconds to go. And if we hadn't seen so many incredible finishes before, Bones, we'd say maybe this one's over. But there's a long time to go.
Well, I'll tell you, Jim, the situation they're in, they have the one choice, and that was what Doughton did just a minute ago. He kept turning and pivoting, and they thought he was going to pass the ball, and of course he put it up. But they have very little chance now.
But we remember a year when Duke had an 8-point lead with 17 seconds to go and lost the ball game.
And they kept calling timeout just like they're doing now. They kept getting the inbounds pass, and Walter Davis, who's sitting on the bench down there, is a guy that tore it up from the outside.
And now they have 1 minute and 30 seconds to go, and they're trailing by 8. Well, let's note a couple of things here, Bones. If Duke wins this game, it'll be the first time since there was a 17 league starting in 1972 that there was a tie for the bye. This will be the first time ever for that. The last time there was a tie for first place was in 1960. Your team was involved in that.
Yeah, we were in a tie, and I don't even remember whether we won it or lost it. But we didn't win the tournament, I can tell you that.
But there's always been a tie for something, another one position. This is the 17th straight year we've had a tie for some kind of position and a draw. All right, now the platooning is back in again.
If they should get a three-point play here, it would change the complexion of this thing.
They got to hurry, and the foul in backcourt is on Jed Doughton, and he just fouled the best shooter on the Duke team from the free throw line in Bob Bender.
Well, he fouled a bad man to foul. They say that every time we say that a guy's a good foul shooter, he misses. You can see the situation right here. Bender starts to move one way. Now watch Doughton get him as he comes back this way. And Doughton did not have position. He saw him slide his left foot over.
That'll send Bob Bender to the free throw line. He's an excellent year at the free throw line. Now John Virgil returns, replacing Dudley Bradley. That's been a switch here for North Carolina. They're in a platooning system. Bender's hitting 85.7% of his free throws. Had one stretch of over 30 in a row. And he hit. Now he gets the bonus shot. Duke goes back up by 9 with 1:26 remaining.
I understand they practice free throws between classes.
Now a rare miss by Bender. 1:23 to go. Time running out for North Carolina. Al Wood will take a 25-footer, and there's timeout again. Well, they do get timeout. And one official said, no, he didn't call it in time. And Hal Grossman said, yes, he did. It's timeout for North Carolina. Stop the clock with 1 minute and 16 seconds to go. Now, of course, you must call timeout before the other team takes possession.
That's right.
All right, there's timeout on the court. The score, Duke 37, North Carolina 30.
We worked half the night just to get it right. Now it's all behind. Got blue ribbon on my mind. I've got Pabst Blue Ribbon on my mind.
There are a lot of beers, but there's only one, Pabst. It's brewed to be the best, naturally, with no artificial ingredients, and you can taste it.
I've got Pabst Blue Ribbon on my mind.
Well, Bones in 1 minute and 3 seconds. Duke has picked up 5, or North Carolina's picked up 5 points. They trail by 12 with 2:19 to go. Now they're trailing by 7 with 1 minute and 16 seconds to go. And that 1 minute and 3 seconds taking exactly 11 minutes to play.
Jim, you know, a minute ago after they made those 2 foul shots, I'll be honest, I don't know the rule. Maybe you can't call timeout after you make a foul shot.
You can, but I don't think he wanted to because the clock wasn't going to start until he got the play inbounds anyway. Or he maybe just wanted to save it. He only has 1 left.
Right.
So North Carolina can only stop the clock 1 more time unless he wants to absorb a technical foul. They called it 4. Now there's Bender again, backcourt, being harassed by Dudley Bradley. Oh, Jaminski, great feed from Banks. Duke just ripped open the press that time, 39-30, 1 minute to go, 9-point lead. That may have put it out of play. A charging foul on Doubt turns it over for North Carolina, and that could be the one that finally did it. For a long and last, with 58 seconds to go, Duke gets the ball. Blue Devils up 39-30. And Duke's going to call timeout. A smart call by Jim Spanarkel because it was close to having the 5-second call.
Didn't take any chances.
We'd like to take this opportunity to thank Athletic Director Bill Colby, Head Basketball Coach Dean Smith and his staff, and Sports Information Director Rick Brewer from the University of North Carolina for their help in tonight's telecast. And from Duke University, our thanks go to Director of Athletics Tom Butters, Head Basketball Coach Bill Foster and his staff, and Sports Information Director Tom Mickle. Our thanks also to our stage manager, Bob Royster.
All right, what's the situation here? Ball's passed to Spanarkel. Spanarkel passes the ball down to Banks, and Banks turns it to Jaminski, and Jaminski says, oh, baby, mash.
As you know, Bones, the Holly Farm Scholarship Award, a $1,000 grant, is presented to the office of the ACC Commissioner, to the school of the outstanding player or players of this game, as chosen by the game announcers. We'll have our player of the game. There he is. Tonight, the outstanding player of the game is Jim Spanarkel, number 34 from Duke University. Just played an inspired game, especially in the second half, once the action picked up. He's the catalyst of this Duke team. Lob pass inbound, stolen by Dudley Bradley, and then booted out of bounds by Jaminski. White Bradley's had almost 90 steals this year. Just had a spectacular defensive year.
Now watch him pack that defense in there.
Dave Cole-Scott comes in replacing Jed Doubt.
He's getting Virgil back in there.
Yep, Virgil's coming in for Bradley. Since it's North Carolina's ball, they want their offensive platoon back in. Cole-Scott and Virgil, the shooters, are back in there. Going out to Cole-Scott. And there's Wood from the outside. Wood hit. There's the final timeout called by North Carolina. The last one they could call without incurring a technical foul. 5 timeouts now been called with 50 seconds to go. North Carolina's cut the margin They were trailing by 14 points. They cut it in half balls down to 7, which is pretty good work.
I think they've done a real good job. You see the huddle there, the Carolina. Here's Spanarkel. He sees that he doesn't have enough. Here's the pass that goes in. You see that it's deflected. You see Al Wood get the ball. The pass goes in to Coyne, and there's a stumble there, and they say North Carolina knocked it out of bounds, and the referee says that Duke knocked it out of bounds.
You know who wins that argument?
I know who wins it, and they win every single time, whether it's Bello and Ekman or who it might be.
Take that from a coach, folks, who knows. Next week, the ACC tournament, one of the great sporting spectacles here every year. Thursday, first round, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 8 o'clock. On Friday, the semifinal games will be at 7 and 9. Saturday's championship game, 8:30. All on live television. Check your local listings. Well, we can tell you for sure that the 1 o'clock game will be between one of these teams and one of the two you saw this afternoon. But that's all we can tell you.
You really told them something, didn't you?
That's right. The 3 o'clock game is going to be between the other one of these teams.
That's right.
And the other team you saw this afternoon.
And whoever else shows up can play the night game.
Well, we know the 8 o'clock game is between Maryland and Clemson, boys. We don't have to worry about that. Here we go, inbounds play to Jaminski. Jaminski fouled immediately by O'Korn. There were two players named first-team All-America today. Mike O'Korn been held down to just 2 points. Only 2 free throws in this game, but that was dictated by North Carolina's first half strategy. Kenny Denard returns to the Duke lineup, replacing Johnny Harrell. Bob Bender also in there. 48 seconds to go. Mike Jaminski will be on the line for Duke. Mike scored 7 points tonight. Jaminski's been out of double figures only one time this year. That was 9 points against Virginia. And in danger here tonight. That gives him 8 with 48 seconds to go.
Now he needs to bounce it off the front rim and dunk it. He doesn't mind, I'm sure.
No, never mind. 41-32, 9-point lead. Here's Al Wood, excellent shooter for North Carolina. Rebound Jaminski, and Jaminski fouled in backcourt by Al Wood, and a technical foul has been called. Wood goes down. Oh, he took quite a blow, but I think it was all accidental, Bones.
I didn't see the movement that strong. I did see him make a move, and to throw your elbows is a technical foul, but I think they're handling this thing real well out on the court. I think they did a real good job. Banks did a good job. He just jumped between Jaminski and the rest of them.
Well, both coaches have come on the floor to keep their own players off of it.
That's right.
Bill Foster and Dean Smith out there very quickly because in the heat of the battle here, of course, tempers can fly. But that would look to me like an accidental elbow that Jaminski caught Woods, if that's exactly what it was. I'm not sure of that. It all happened so suddenly. But I'll tell you, Woods went down, didn't he? He's hurt. Al Wood, let's see if we can see it again.
Here's the move. Watch Jaminski get the ball off the board. Now he makes his move. He's got the ball, and no one's after him. Now over the top, there was the elbow on the jaw.
And he had his back to him, both. I don't think he really saw him.
He didn't know he was back there.
Well, that was some blow. That Jaminski is a big fellow, 6 foot.
It was a natural reflex. I know that it hurt. I know that it's a foul to do a thing like that.
6'11", 245 pounds. So it's going to be a personal foul on Al Wood, and then a technical foul on Jaminski, which is also a ejection from the game. So Jaminski is out of the ball game. It's going to be a false double foul. Wood will have some free throws coming, and Jaminski, well, he's out of the game. I don't know who'll shoot for him. 30 seconds to go in the game, and Wood now is setting up. Fans giving him a round of applause.
I think it's great that I just wanted to say that. I got to the great part, and I wanted them to know that I meant that the Duke crowd is giving him a great hand.
Look who's going out now to check and see how Wood is. He wants to talk to Coach Dean Smith.
Jaminski's telling him he didn't do it on purpose. He couldn't have. He didn't see him.
Now, there was Jaminski. That was a pretty good gesture by Mike Jaminski. Went out to check with...
Now, I think it hurt Jaminski. I really think he's crying.
Well, he's a great young man. Al Wood sitting up now, so things looking better for him. But you saw Jaminski, he was behind Jaminski trying to rip the ball away. Jaminski had his back to him and trying to free himself. The elbow caught Wood in the jaw. Well, the officials ruled it intentional, at least, because they've given Jaminski an ejection technical.
Well, Al Wood had a piece of that ball at one time and was not committing a foul. He did foul him. But then Jaminski trying to get free through the arm, and of course that's a technical whether you touch anybody or not. It's a foul.
Now Bill Foster can choose anybody he wants off the bench here to come in and shoot the 1-and-1.
He's going to send Gray in there if he sends the man he usually sends. That's who it is.
It'll be Gray. Gray will go in. He's an excellent shooter. Matter of fact, his free throw percentage, 82% on the season, is second only to Bender. Scott Getz is at 90%, but he's only taken 10 shots, 9 out of 10. So here is Steve Gray in for the 1-and-1. This is in place of Jaminski, who's been ejected. He gets the bonus. Nobody down there because there's going to be some more free throwing at the other end. There's a shot there. Okay, now we'll go to the other end, and we can have anybody shoot the technical free throws here. There'll be 2 of them. Intentional technical, flagrant foul, and Michael Korn will shoot the double technical. Say one thing, the players have shown a lot of cool at the free throw line, Bones.
Yeah, but now with only 30 seconds to go, they got to keep the cool. Any scuffle now could cause something that shouldn't be called.
All right, it's going to be North Carolina's ball at midcourt. The false double foul ordinarily would be a jump ball, but there are no jump balls in the Atlantic Coast Conference after the opening tip. They rotate team possession from one team to the other, and it's North Carolina's turn to get the ball. 30 seconds to go, 9-point lead by Duke. We have now taken 23 minutes to play less than 2 minutes. Jed Doughton at the top of the circle. Doughton hitting. North Carolina cannot kill the clock. And there's a foul, a technical foul on the play called against Yannicker. Yannicker, that might have been on purpose, Bones, to stop the clock.
I think he had to do it to stop the clock.
That stops the clock. That means that Duke is going to be able to go to the line and shoot. 24 seconds to go. I tell you, these teams don't give up till it's all over, do they?
Not at all. Watch the shot. Doughton puts it up. It goes in. Here's Getz after the ball, and you see what happens right there. He was fouled. I thought O'Corin got him, but then I thought they called it on Yannicker.
After the shot, a foul on Yannicker, technical foul. And Bob Bender will shoot the technical free throw, and then North Carolina. It seemed to me that North Carolina would have been better to wait and commit a personal foul.
Right.
Because now Duke gets the ball.
That's right.
One shot to Bender.
Should have let him throw the ball in.
8-point lead, 44-36. 24 seconds to go. Bernard back in for Duke. Now North Carolina, they're going to send it. They're huddling here off the technical foul. They didn't have a timeout left, but Dean Smith taking advantage of the technical.
Right.
He comes out with Virgil, Doughton, Colescott, Yannicker, and O'Corin. Dudley Bradley's coming out because he's out replacing Yannicker. 24 seconds to go. 8-point lead by Duke. North Carolina making the best game it can of it right here is Johnny Harrell. Now there's the foul. Doughton fouling Harrell.
They're going to call it close now, Jim. They're not going to let the contact go on because that's all it'll take to ignite something.
Well, North Carolina's intent now is to foul quickly because they must stop the clock. One thing's certain, if they don't foul, the game's over, they're lost, right?
That's right.
They're probably going to lose anyway, but
you got to take a chance. They don't know whether Harrell can shoot these baskets or not. He did last year in the NCAA, I can tell you that.
Yep, he certainly did. It's the 1-and-1 for Johnny Harrell.
He's a knuckleball shooter.
Knuckleballs do all right.
Doesn't make any difference whether it spins or not as long as it goes in. I think Foster tried to change him, but he couldn't shoot Foster's way, so he said, go back to your own.
Bonus shot, floats it right in there, 46-36. 10-point lead with 20 seconds to go now. Time running out for North Carolina. Here goes John Virgil penetrating and banking the ball home. Virgil scored about 13 seconds, and North Carolina's going to take a technical foul. They're taking a purposeful technical foul by calling a 6th timeout with 11 seconds to go. And once more, Bones, if they don't do it, they know the game's over.
Well, they're trying to steal that ball inbounds, want to get a three-point play, but if you notice the last shot that was taken, no one contested the man shooting the ball.
North Carolina calls a technical foul. The only way they have left to stop the clock with only 11 seconds to go. They're going to let Bob Bender shoot again, hoping that maybe he'll miss and he can steal the inbounds play.
Now, Jim, with a score 46-38 with 11 seconds to go, we're going to wonder the rest of our lives. If they had played the first half, what would Carolina's chances have been?
Folks, we hope you've enjoyed our doubleheader tonight. 7-0 in the opening game. The second one's been a little bit different. Our player of the game, Jim Spanarkel, has the Holly Farm Award, and Duke University gets the $1,000 scholarship. Spanarkel led all scorer with 17 points, and this is his final home game for Duke University. He's the only senior that plays in the starting 5 for Duke.
Jim, we're talking about All-Americans in O'Corn and also in Jaminski. Any All-American team picked without Spanarkel on it, so far as I'm concerned, there's no need to pick it.
Bob Bender, technical free throw. Now Duke gets the ball. Duke's ball at midcourt with 11 seconds to go. North Carolina, very adept team here, preventing the inbounds pass. Lob it into Jadar. The clock is stopped now, starting with 8 seconds to go. Stolen by Doughton. Down 4. Here's O'Corn coming down on Spanarkel. They let him go. O'Corn goes in to score. And that's it. It is all over. Duke University has won the game 47-40 and tied for the Atlantic Coast Conference Championship with North Carolina. They'll have to break the tie tomorrow morning at 10:30 by drawing out of a hat. And what an important draw that'll be, Bones.
What a draw it'll be. You know, it'll take me until late tomorrow night to find out. I hope they'll put that thing on every radio and run it along every television. It's 40-47 in favor of Duke, and it ended 7-0 at the half. They played the second half even. And I say again, what would have happened if North Carolina had come out and played?
A 40-40 standoff in the second half after a 7-0, rather dull first half. There's Jimmy Spanarkel, our player of the game, getting a hero's send-off here, and goodbye from the Duke fans. In his last home game, leaves the floor with tears in his eyes. He was the top scorer with 17 points as North Carolina and Duke end up in a dead heat for the Atlantic Coast Conference regular season run. And now the draw will be made tomorrow for the bye for the coming tournament. Well, that's it tonight from Cameron Indoor Stadium in Durham, North Carolina. This is Jim Thacker with Bones McKinney. It's been an exciting windup after a rather slow first half. The final, Duke 47, North Carolina 40. This has been a C.D. Chesley production.
These are the top stories making the news. Rivers and streams are running full tonight. A flash flooding possibility is in effect, and more rain is on the way. A Wilson County lawman has been acquitted of bribery charges, and in sports it was a full day of college basketball, and there were many disappointments. The tales next on Action News 5.
Long ago, in the little town of Kiern, Germany, to herald the approach of spring, the first Stroh's Bock beer was served. It was a hearty, dark beer, specially blended with toasted caramel malts. Wunderbar! And the people loved their Bock beer. Today, Stroh still makes real Bock beer to herald the approach of spring.
I didn't come in here for this jive story. I mean, I came here for a Bock, man. Yeah.
Winter driving calls for STP products from Roses. Try the all-season motor oil from STP, now just 77 cents a quart. An STP single oil filter gives a good start on clean oil, now only $1.88. For extra car care, add STP oil or gas treatment. Your choice, 99 cents. STP air filters help keep engine air clean, just $2.22. Look to Roses for STP car care products.
Why do I attend Friends of the College Concert Series? Because I can see super shows, hear great music, enjoy culture, and I don't have to change out of my jeans to do it.
I like to go to the Friends of the College Concert Series because I really do like classical music, ballet, and opera. I can see it all with a series membership.
Friends of the College Concert Series? Because season tickets only cost $10. With a bargain like that, I can buy two. One